This is my daily carry for Marvel Crisis Protocol. First up, I have my case. Every single miniature gamer needs a way to get their minis to the game store. Mine is a KR multi-case. I really like KR. Their foam is the softest by far, and while I think that Battle Foam has better actual bags, their foam has scratched my minis in the past, and I put hours and hours into those, and that's pretty unacceptable. And I switched to KR, who happens to sponsor Second Wind, and I've never looked back. I've been super happy with it. In that case, I carry all this other nonsense that you see around me, with the exception of the core box. In the core box, I bring just spare terrain and extra measuring sticks for other players, as well as all my extra cards and crisis and tokens. I don't bring it with me to every single thing. If it's an event, I won't bring it along, but for a casual game day, I do bring the core box along. At the very top, I have all of my tokens with the exception of my status tokens. In here, you'll find all my faction tokens and my wound tokens, as well as my custom crisis tokens, which are essentially built in such a way that they can do any crisis no matter what. They save me a ton of space, so I don't have to drag every single crisis that I'm bringing to every single event. To my left, I have all of my status effects tokens. These are unique to my Patreon. If you want to back the Patreon, you can get these every single month as a different condition. There's 11 conditions. Covers every single thing in the entire game. I think they're super cool. They're manufactured by Muson Minis. They're designed by Dano Animanetti and Nick Mecha. Below the tokens are koozies or coolies or beer savers or stubby holders, whatever your culture calls them. They're little receptacles for beers or pops that prevent the pop from warming your hand and your hand from cooling the pop. Or maybe it's the other way around. Who knows? Anyway, I find them really helpful to have at conventions, especially since a lot of conventions are drinking allowed. And they also double as ways to protect more fragile containers in my bag. So these things that my conditions are in are a little bit fragile. They're made of a really hard plastic, almost glass-like plastic. So I stick them in there and they keep the containers from breaking while they're in my bag and I'm being rough with my bag. Over here I have a fanny pack. I changed my dice bag to be a fanny pack, which I'm never going back now, as a really fast way to move my stuff from one table to the other, not having to hold my dice bag and being able to just clip it around my waist is super dorky, and I love it. I'm never going back. Getting my dice from one gaming area to another has never been easier. I love it to death. In there, I have my Marvel Crisis Protocol dice that are official, as well as these custom ones made by Jacob Fralinger. They're themed like my Web Warriors, and they're in Web Warriors colors, and I use them for no other games other than my Web Warriors games. Suck it, Spider Foes and Brotherhood. You have to roll the normal Crisis Protocol dice. And of course, I carry my normal Crisis Protocol dice with me in case anybody has issues with my custom dice. Below that, over here, we've got a foldable dice tray that's Guild Ball themed. It's a holdover from when I played Guild Ball, but it's got Quaff, the mascot of Second Wind, on it, so I keep it around. Plus, it helps me prevent my dice from just kind of being all over the table, and it folds up nice and flat. Right, and then above me and over here, I have the Alfredo Size 3 Taco Truck cheat sheet. If you haven't seen this, you can find it on our Discord, link in the description. It essentially has quick setup rules. If you have a tape measure, you can set up all the scenarios, as well as all the scenario setup rules for real quick access, as well as some useful charts for dice math and other things like that. And the reason I have them in two places is I have my personal copy, as well as ones that I give every person I play in an event. I'm a big fan of just giving gifts to opponents that are just really cool guys, and I haven't found in Marvel Crisis Protocol any of those people, at least in person. Along those same lines, the other gift I have over here are some of the long Shanks cards that are left over from Second Wind. These are essentially like cheat sheet cards that have quick rules explanations on them, as well as an alternative way to mark status conditions if carrying, I don't know, 11 statuses, 6 of each for every single one of your minis, isn't really conducive to your kit. And I can understand why it might not be. I also have over here, this is probably my favorite item in my entire kit, which is my measuring stick roll. My partner Ray sewed and made this custom for me back in my Guild Ball days. It functions like a knife, chef knife roll, if you've ever seen one of those. It rolls up nice and tight, and it contains all the widgets I use to play Marvel Crisis Protocol. I have both Cargo 2 widgets as well as the original set of widgets in here. I lost my short, so I was forced to get another set of widgets. And before I could actually manage that, Andrew Veen gifted this set to me, and I've been really happy with it overall. This isn't sponsored by Cargo 2, but if you want to sponsor me, reach out. I'm pretty happy with your product so far. Up here is my current competitive list. This baggie has all the crisis cards and tactics cards for my current Web Warriors roster. There's a second baggie not pictured here that has all of the characters for it as well. I like to just have them all in one spot so I can just pull them out and get right into it. So that's my entire daily carry. This is what I bring to the game store every single week. What do you guys bring? Is there any special item that I should add to my list that you guys bring that you think is super cool or has revolutionized how you guys play at the game store? Let me know in the comments down below. If you hit like, it will help other people find this video. If you hit subscribe, it will let you know the next time I upload something. I'm Vincent Curkov, and this is my daily carry.